because we certainly didn't turn up to attack the way we wanted to. We're looking for too many cheap tries, and we tried to take shortcuts and wanted to make it an easy day for us. That's the way it looked like from an attacking point of view, that we turned up to have an easy day with the footy, and fortunately the attitude was on the opposite edge, on the opposite with the way they defended.
The way they straightened up in the second half, followed your instructions, must have pleased with all the forwards scoring like they did.
Yeah, it's really important how you use the possession, because it's in today's game you can have a little bit of continuity, and it's important that you get the desired result off what you're aiming for with the football. Today it didn't happen for us, but as I say, our defence was probably the highlight of this match.
How happy were you for Ryan James?
I was happy for him that he got through that match. He's worked extremely hard all off season. I think I said that to you the other day on the phone. He has worked. He's just a real professional, and what I admired about Ryan was that him and Anna and the kids, they came to Canberra earlier than he needed to in regards to getting ready for his season. He started training with our under-20s. So, you visualise and imagine the buzz that our under-20s had with a guy such as his stature in the game. 11 seasons he's played as an NRL player, and he's in the gym training with the under-20s, 19s and 18-year-olds, He's very humble, and, he got here ready to train, to prepare himself to play. And I don't know when he was expecting to play NRL, but he's worked his way right through the pre-season into a position to start in the 17 this week. And for me, I was just really happy for him that he got through what would have been a pretty nervous day for him, because he's been a player that's had some bad luck with that couple of knee reconstructions.
He scored the try, I guess, that sort of sparked the second half as well.
It was good for him. It was a nice way to start the second half. But it was just nice for Ryan James from an individual point of view that he got through an NRL game with his new club.
Pre-season, in all the predicted sides for the Raiders, the name Ryan Sutton wasn't heard once, and yet he comes out and has a performance like that. You knew that was in him?
Yep, that was in him last year. Ryan, difficult decision the year before when I had to make a choice between middles. And then Ryan last year was playing really good football and got injured. He's had some bad luck, the poor bugger. I know it's lovely coaching a player that you know what you're going to get from them. And when you know it's a lot of positives, they're very easy to select.
A couple of tries turned away by the bunker as George was lining up for a conversion. How did you see both of those?
They got it right. Yep, so if anyone wants to talk to me about the new rules, we were on the opposite end today and they got it right, unfortunately.
With Bailey Simonson, when he came off, not replacing him there and choosing to keep him off for the 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think that's a really good rule. One, I'll tell you what it's done is it stopped these blokes who are dying with a calf cramp 40 metres away from the play, and you got a bit of momentum, and then all of a sudden the ref's been told he's got to stop the game. So you won't find that again in the game, and if you do, you've got to sit off for 2 minutes. But that was a genuine injury. I thought it was a HIA, but it wasn't. He got a whack to the eye. So the 2 minute rule was one, a safety thing for the player, and two, also a situation to show that he wasn't laying down. But it wasn't the stage of the game to be laying down either. He was genuinely got a whack to the eye. So
how nervous were you though during that period?
Yeah, I must say that you got to turn the football over into a pretty decent position on the field to defend, because you're only going with 12 for anywhere up to, it could be a minute, 10, 20 seconds, depending on what tackle count it was that he had to leave the field. So, there's a period of play there where you'd like to turn the football over on the other end of the field more so than yours.
George kicking 5 from 6 is a pretty handy backup kicker. Will Jared get the kicking tee back?
Yeah, he will. There's no question there, and I think George would be happy to hand it over to him. But he's worked really hard in the off-season with his goal kicking. So, you know, I was talking to Daryl Halligan about who was going to be the second and third kickers for us, and Daryl's made sure that he's done a lot of work with both those reserve kickers.
Josh Hodgson, he said he wanted to play 80 minutes, and he did, sort of thing. And he also seemed to create a lot out of dummy half as well.
Yep, and you know, it was important for Josh not to chase the game. It was important for Josh to let some early ball go out of dummy half and let our team get a bit of momentum. And I thought he did a really good job because he's such a competitor. He wants to win at everything, win at all costs, which I love. And sometimes can overplay his hand, but today he didn't. And I thought today was a really good start for a guy who's been unlucky with a little bit like Jamesy, for a guy who's been unlucky in the situation with his knee again last year.
How far away is Jared Croker, and Sebastian Chris's return must have been pleasing within that too?
Well, it's lovely to be able to replace a player like Jared with Seb, and it gave me all the confidence last week to sit with Jared and say, listen, mate, I've got to protect you from you. And I just don't think Jared had enough conditioning. His shoulder's fine. I just don't think he had enough conditioning to be where Jared needs to be at the level of player he is. I didn't want him to just play for the team, make that sacrifice to the team when I had a player like Seb. So we can get Jared back to 100% right before he plays, and whether that's next week, the week after, I'll leave that with the high performance team.